Ever wonder why some metal parts are hammered into shape while others are poured like molten lava? One involves biceps, sweat, and a lot of shouting at hot metal. The other involves carefully coaxing liquid metal into perfect molds without accidentally flooding the workshop like a tiny volcano. I'm Professor Everything, and today we'll be answering the question, which is better, forging or casting? Right here on Explaining Everything. All right, picture this, a smoky workshop. On one side, a blacksmith with arms like cinder blocks pounding glowing metal. On the other side, a technician in a sleek foundry carefully pouring molten metal into a mold like some kind of metallic latte artist. These are our two contenders. Forging is basically beat the metal until it behaves. Heat it more, then hammer it, either by hand or machine. It's thousands of years old and makes parts that are ridiculously strong. Why? Hammering aligns the metal's internal structure. In geek terms, it improves the grain flow, which boosts strength and fatigue resistance. Essentially, forged metal is the gym rat of the metal world. Casting, meanwhile, is more like liquid magic. Melt the metal until it flows like lava. Pour it into a mold and let it cool. The result can be stunningly complex shapes that would make a blacksmith cry into their anvil. The downside? Air pockets and tiny weak spots can sneak in if you're not careful. Some cast parts need extra cleanup or machining afterward. So forging is pound first, ask questions later, and casting is pour, pray, and hope it's perfect. Here's the nitty-gritty. Strength versus shape. Need the toughest part possible, like aircraft landing gears or a sword that could shave a beard with laser precision. Forging usually wins. The hammering process squeezes the metal's microstructure into a continuous flow, leaving fewer weak spots. Think of it like comparing a tightly knitted sweater to one with gaps. The tighter it is, the stronger it is. Forged metal is the sweater that can bench press you. Casting strength can be good, but it's less predictable. Even with careful temperature control and heat treatments, cast metal can trap bubbles or cool unevenly, creating weak points. Not ideal for parts that get repeatedly stressed. For shaping, this is where casting shines. Complex curves, internal cavities, or shapes that look like a metallic pretzel. Pour it. Forging would require either magical hammers or an industrial-level stress stream to replicate. So cast parts can do what forging sometimes can only dream about. The takeaway: strength, forged wins. Complexity, casting wins. But wait, there's more nuance. Time to talk money and time. Yes, even metal isn't free. Forging requires huge presses, expert operators, and a lot of energy. Custom small runs, expensive. Casting. Build the mold once and pour hundreds or thousands of parts. More parts equals less cost per piece. Casting can crank out complex shapes faster once molds exist. Forging can be fast too, but only if the design fits the forging process. Trying to forge a spiky dragon-shaped metal sculpture. Good luck. Investment casting is like casting on steroids. You make a wax version of your part, coat it in ceramic, melt out the wax, and pour metal in. The result: crazy detailed parts used in aerospace, medical implants, and other places where good enough just doesn't cut it. Bottom line, Casting is scalable and efficient. Forging is reliable, but sometimes pricey. Engineers get ridiculously passionate about this. Imagine a room full of safety goggle-wearing people arguing over grain flow. Forging folks puff up like roosters, stronger, tougher, fatigue-resistant. Casting folks sip coffee while murmuring shape complexity, wax patterns, molten metal. Trade shows? Picture polite nodding while slowly inching chairs closer like gladiators in steel-toed boots. But here's the kicker. Both are right. Each process excels in different areas. It's like arguing whether pancakes or waffles are better, only hotter and with more sparks. So, yes, the argument is fierce, hilarious, and slightly terrifying if you're standing too close to a forge. Here's the simple truth, hammered out and cooled in reality. Neither forging nor casting is universally better. Forging is stronger, more fatigue-resistant parts, perfect for critical components. Casting is complex, detailed shapes at lower cost per piece for mass production. Want both? Sometimes engineers combine the two. Cast the rough shape, then forge critical sections, like giving your metal part a personal trainer. So, the real answer is, it depends on what you're making, how many you need, and what performance matters most. If you enjoyed this metal-filled journey, cast that like button, subscribe, and forge the bell button. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.